like you don't have your own vision, somebody else will hire you to be a part of theirs.
Yeah.
So it's like having your own vision, having your own dream. Like it doesn't mean that you can't help somebody else with their dream or vision.
Amen.
But if you ignore what you have, you're doing a disservice to somebody else who needed that to spark an idea.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Say More Words, a podcast that was created to emphasize the human experience through stories. I hope that you come here to learn, to expand, and most importantly, learn how to say more words. Speak your story, speak your truth, boo-boo. We're so happy you're here.
Welcome back to Say More Words. Y'all, I'm so super excited for today. This is Shalom, and I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. But before y'all know the drill, what's the song of the day?
Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder.
Oh!
Yes.
Yes.
Can I read a few lines?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
I would love to have you.
This is the part, best intro, by the way. Music is a world within itself, with a language we all understand, with an equal opportunity for all to sing, dance, and clap their hands. But just because a record has a groove doesn't make it in the groove. But you can tell right away at letter A when the people start to move.
So good. He was such a lyrical, like he told stories with his music.
But he had to see in a different way than we had to see.
Yeah.
So I think that helped him a lot with just how he visualized music.
And it made it so much deeper.
Yeah.
And his we're going to talk a lot today about human connection, and his human connection had to exist by like hearing the things that the rest of us don't.
Yes.
So cool.
So cool.
So I met Shalom a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. It's been fast. Yeah. And he is working on a project right now. So he interviewed me first.
Yes.
And then you know me that I can't help but like say and give advice. So then for an hour after that, then I spewed a bunch of information.
Which was really good, by the way.
Very powerful.
Yes.
But he's doing a project right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to have you describe the project where he's interviewing 365 people. So tell us a little bit about that project.
Okay. So I'm interviewing 365 people, and the project is for a book. And essentially, it's supposed to be a resource for younger people to kind of help them realize, A, how many people are out there who have experiences and want to share them. And then B, that they can cross those bridges too and have those conversations.
I love it. It's so important in the human connection, especially with you targeting the younger generation, because like so much of it, and I'm very dramatic, always have been my whole life. And so many of the younger generation are so dramatic, thinking like nobody knows what they're going through.
Yeah.
No one knows their sorrows. I just saw Lion King this weekend on Broadway, and like I love Zazu, and he's like, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. And like so many people believe that. Yeah. And so to bring together all of these people, so how are you getting the people that you're interviewing for this book?
So as I started out, it was just kind of the people who were directly around me. Mm-hmm. So I was a barista and I was just starting out with customers. Then I started going to, like, I'm currently at TCC, Tarrant County College.
Yeah.
So I started going to different professors and stuff like that. Then I had this idea. So John Maxwell, he talks about how after he does an interview with somebody or talks to somebody, he asks them 3 questions. And the last one is, who do you know that you think I should know?
Yeah.
And so what I ask is I say, like,
I need to send you that list, by the way. Sorry.
Yes, no, you're good. So I usually ask, like, who do you know that would be a good fit for this project? And so that way, first of all, it's like, who do you know that would be a good fit? Because I want it to be intentional. But then on the other side, it's not putting all the weight on me to go and find everybody, because networks are your net worth, right? So like having those connections and allowing them to connect you to other people is huge.
Yeah.
Like I found out one of my connections knows the mother of somebody I wanted to talk to. And so I'm working that out.
Yeah.
And the details are falling into place.
It's so amazing what happens when you become intentional too. It's like, okay, I know that you have an energy of like, these are the people I want to get around, and your net worth or your network is your net worth. So it's like, who knows you and who speaks so highly of you.
Yeah.
I actually had 3 people reach out to me in regards to your project.
Really?
Yes. So my friend Amy Brown was the first, and then Mary Hildebrandt, and then I'm trying to remember who the last person was. Now that I said 3, maybe it was just 2. Either way, they're like, you need to talk to him. And it's just super powerful, especially here in DFW. There's 9 million people. You have to have those connections in order to like really truly get anywhere.
Yeah.
It's really powerful.
I didn't realize there's 9 million people here.
Here in DFW, 9 million. When I moved here in 2013, there were 6 million people. That's how big it's gotten over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
12 years.
Everything's getting bigger in Texas.
Everything is getting bigger in Texas. We wish DFW would stop, but that is okay. It gives us more people.
Sure.
So how many interviews have you done so far?
So far to date, I've done 252 people. Like I've interviewed 252 people.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting.
Is it? Yeah. What do you think? And this may be a loaded question.
Yeah.
And you don't need to say who it came from because, we are going to be working on PR and stuff for this book.
Yeah.
But like, what are some of the moments that were really big aha, like, oh, holy cow.
Okay.
This is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are a few different moments that kind of clicked for me, but the first one was between interviews number 97 and 100. And so they all talked about being present. None of them knew each other, but like they all talked about it. And so when I realized, oh snap, 97 talked about 98, and some talked from the place of regret, some talked from the place of, I'm so glad I realized this now.
Yeah.
And by 100, I was like, okay, cool. It clicked for me for the project. Like, let me stop trying to get to the end and let me start appreciating the in-betweens, like the moments, like what I'm getting here. Because when I get to the end of this, I'll never get it back.
Yeah.
And so taking that to a connector point, there was somebody who recently I had an interview with, and they said opportunities are so important because some opportunities don't repeat themselves. And so if you miss that opportunity, that might be it. But, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you get blessed and you're able to have another opportunity.
Yeah.
But some don't repeat. So it's like treating each moment as though that's the last time you get that experience. Like you'll never get somebody to say the same thing the same exact way twice. And that's one of the things that hurts sometimes with this project.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you like have a pre-conversation with somebody before you interview them. And then you actually start the interview and you're like, you stop saying all the things you just said. And I need them now.
You should just start the minute you sit down with somebody.
Sometimes
start press
I
play.
do that. So what I'll do sometimes is like one time I figured out how to do it. I had my water bottle, and so I set it up and I hit start, and then I let them talk. So he said all the good things right then and there. Then I was like, okay, cool. Are you ready? And then I started the recording.
Yeah.
And so that way, the stuff that he said post the recording, or post the recording.
Yeah.
If he missed anything, I still had all the natural stuff he said from the jump. And I realized people are just like that because it's like they feel more comfortable in a conversation. But then once they know like the recording's on and everything, it's like we want to present a more organized version.
Buttoned up.
Yes.
And less real.
Yeah.
Man. I think what's really cool about this is I'm really excited for the project to be done and to read it and to be a part of it too. So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Yeah.
Is that those words of wisdom that just hurt so good where you're like, yes, because with the being present part and you're never going to have this opportunity again.
Yeah.
So many of us experience that and realize it when it comes to the death of a loved one.
Yeah.
But we forget that like there's going to be some times where we don't ever get to have that conversation again, or we don't get to live in that moment again. This is ridiculous, but one of the things that's coming up to me is like when I got to go to the Metallica concert.
Okay.
The 2-day Metallica concert at AT&T Stadium a couple of years ago. And I had told my husband, I was like, we have to go now.
Yeah.
While they're still Metallica. While they're not sitting on a bench playing their guitars, fighting for their life. Like, I want them sweating and screaming. I want Metallica.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the moment thinking, oh, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like how cool that is. And we don't do that enough in our everyday lives.
That's really good. A quote I was thinking about on the way over here was Dietrich Bonhoeffer from his book. It's like The Cost of Discipleship. And he says, like, when Christ calls a man, he bids him come and die. And like, there's a whole other section, but essentially it's like whether it's a death to self or a death to like a physical death, like he calls him come and die. And essentially it's like you have to lay aside you to get the best out of life. And so I think like the death to self is recognizing the world's not just a circle and you're in the middle.
Yeah.
Like the world's so much bigger and there are people out there. And I heard there's like, if you impact one person, it affects 4 generations. So just one conversation, one moment of like intentionality, 4 generations, their great great grandchild just got completely like changed just because of you. And so when you recognize that, like that's when you really start living. But like a lot of times we live so fast and in like the social bubble, like the social media bubble rather.
Yeah.
But it's like there's so much life out there. There's so many people that want those conversations and they need exactly what you have.
Yes. So along the lines, the 1 and 4, part of the reason why I started the work that I'm doing is I originally was only helping women, which eventually I realized is a disservice to women because in order for women to be better, men also have to be better. But there's the statistic that if you heal a woman, you heal 7 generations back and 7 generations forward.
Okay.
So you may impact, if it's just an average person on the street, 4 generations forward. But if you can heal women, because of it is the natural impact that women have on a household and on individuals, it will heal back and forward. And I've actually got to watch it happen. It's really cool watching a woman get into her own, heal herself, heal the stories, find her true worth, and then watch as their moms or their grandmas who are still alive start doing it without even knowing they're doing it.
Wow. Just by
being in
that influence.
It's crazy. So the work that you're doing is so very important because you're bringing, this is going to sound ridiculous, but you're bringing the humanness to conversation. And the humanness to stories and the humanness to this human experience that we're in, because we forget that we live here, we exist here, we are here to experience a human experience.
And kind of bringing it back to the work you do. You gave a really good ground rule when we talked about if you don't do the work, you don't get to stay. Could we talk about that for a second?
Yes. So one of the things, in the like, I see a business opportunity for somebody and I'm like, we need to talk about where are you going with this? What are you doing? And the work that I do, you all know, being here in this space, is that it's so very important to understand yourself. And that, I think, is the hardest work that we can do because it's really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable for somebody to be like, okay, here are all the things that you're doing wrong, or the way that you're talking to yourself that's not serving you, or the way that you've been small. And if you would have stopped being small even 20 years ago, you'd be much further along. Even 5 minutes ago, you'd be much further along. And it's a really hard thing for people to understand. And well, you know what? It's not so much anymore, but at the beginning it was my philosophy is you have to do the work on yourself or you don't get to stay. Because people who aren't doing the work on themselves and they're not having the conversations and I'm not saying like we have to have life altering, earth shattering conversations every day because that would be exhausting. Nobody would want to be around me then. I would have no friends. But you have to be willing to do the work because those that don't just shadow everyone else, and not in the sense of like they're bigger than them, but they're draining, they're negative, nothing goes their way, everyone is wrong, everyone hates them, everyone's going against that. It's like a constant, like, just, those people, they're energy suckers. So it's like you either do the work on yourself or you don't get to stay. And that's family, friends, that's everybody. And it's really unfortunate because there's some people in our world that my spiritual advisor told me last week. She goes, there's leechers in the world. They're energy leechers. Their whole purpose is to latch onto you and suck any goodness that you have left because they don't have it for themselves. And she's like, she goes, you have some. It's time to release them. They've got to go. They're not serving you. And I was like, so I've stopped living by my philosophy of you do the work or you can't stay.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Really?
crap. Yeah. Like, but what happened, because I am #human, we're all human. And even in the healing work that I do, sometimes life can get so busy. Life can get so loud. Big things can be happening. I've had a lot of big things happening that have clouded those boundaries for me. And it happens, but I needed somebody to call me out on it.
A reset button.
I needed the reset
Yeah.
button. That's why community and connection are so very important. And it's why it's important to have those stories,
Yeah.
because you need somebody to be like, hi,
Yeah.
no, shut down.
Yeah.
Just like we do on our phones. Shut
Yeah.
it down.
There's a quote for that. They say the quote goes, friends know the song in your heart and they sing it back to you when you've forgotten it.
When you've forgotten it.
Mhm.
That, and you can't read the label from inside the box. So you need somebody
to read
your label and be
Yeah.
like, hey, you're not in alignment anymore.
Yeah.
Or this isn't working. Or somebody's trying to actively take your label.
Yeah. And you also talked about how when you set those clear boundaries, like that's self-respect. And if you don't have that self-respect, you can't trust yourself. And it's hard to move forward in whatever vision or dream or thing you're working on because you have this standard, but you're not following it. So there's this like divide between who you are and what you're doing.
Exactly. If you can't trust you, how can anyone trust you?
Yeah.
And how can you trust anyone else? Oftentimes when people come into my space and they are just blatantly hating other people or not trusting other people, I'm like, what exactly is it in you that you aren't trusting? Let's start with you, friend.
Yeah.
Which is a really uncomfortable conversation. But you have to get to this place where you can trust yourself to keep you safe, because safe is the equivalent of love in the primal beings. Like there's so much conversation on love and shame, blame, guilt, and all of these different things. But love is just truly safety. If you're not safe for you,
who is?
Who is?
Yeah.
Which is so hard. It's hard for people to unpack.
And with that, silence is one of the most like best or most useful preventative cares, because it actually boosts creativity, helps with information processing, can help with brainstem reparation, like fixes all these little things, right? But why do people not like silence? Usually
because they don't trust themselves or
they
like
don't
themselves.
like being around themselves.
They don't like being around themselves, and it's
forced
loud
to reflect when you're by
Yes.
yourself.
Ugh. I will tell you, I am with people all of the time.
Yeah.
I love people. I am your true extrovert. Okay. If you take me away from people, I'm going to shrivel up and die. But yeah, I had a mentor once. She was like, you just have to go silent. You have to spend time alone. You have to stop living in the future, and you need to be where your feet are.
Yeah.
And reflect. But that is an age-old adage of silence is so loud. Well, it's really only loud when you've been avoiding all of the things you're supposed to be working on. So it's like, what's happening in that loudness, and what can you unearth to work on?
That's what you said. You said that when you're not being true to who you are, that's where that mental fog comes from. Yeah.
Yeah. When people are like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know the vision. I don't know what's happening. And I'm like, okay, well, you're being inauthentic. So in what parts of and here's what's tricky about the human experience is that oftentimes people come to me to work on their business, right? They have an idea, they can't figure it out. I'm a high strategist. Like, where we need to go? They're like, I can't see that. And I'm like, okay, well, where are you being inauthentic? And not in your business. It doesn't have to be just in your business. It could be in a relationship. It could be with yourself. It could be in how you're dressing, how you're showing up, what you're eating, what you're what you watch and what you ingest. There's so many different ways we as humans become inauthentic to ourselves in order to show up in a place of searching for safety. But we never truly find real safety until we are authentic to ourselves.
Yeah. And I think that's the best part about the human experience, getting to take risks, because you could get to the very end and play it everything safe, and then all these unanswered questions, all this curiosity, you're like, wow. And maybe you have 10 years left. Now you're just trying to pull all the experiences in real quick before the end. Or you could build something, take risks, and by the end now you get to pass on legacy. You get to pass on experiences. You get to pass on all this stuff that you took a risk for.
Mm-hmm.
You were willing to like step outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you can never tell somebody to do something that you didn't do. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, in that same sense, some of the best coaches in the world have never done some of the things that they've done.
Yes.
Or that they train, but they've done something of equal or opposite. I don't know the statistic number,
Yeah.
but it's a very high number of CEOs that die within a year of retiring.
Wow.
Or high level in corporate companies.
Yeah.
Because they spend so much time working, not risking,
Yeah.
not living. Then they're like, oh, when I retire, I can't tell you how many times. Well, when I retire, I'm going to XYZ. When I retire, I'm going to do this. And it's like, you don't have that guarantee that you're going to have a lot of time once you retire.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people do. They miss out on the human experience because it's like, well, when it's this or what's this. And we are so terrified of failing that we just go along the path.
Yeah.
And I live by the quote. It's like, I'm going to go to the grave, beat up, probably in some sort of sports car. Like, I'm going to go and I pray that the good Lord's going to give me until a long life.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show up beat up when I get there. Mm-hmm. Like, I am going to I will have lived.
Yeah.
I refuse to not
mm-hmm.
live. Honestly, one of the like greatest examples of that for me was when Prince died.
Yeah.
Because when Prince died, I'm from up north, and I've loved Prince my whole life. And I was working at a corporate office at that point, a corporate job. And I got the notice from my best friend's mom, who also loves Prince.
Yeah.
She texted me, and I screamed so loud it echoed inside of this corporate office. And I walked up to my boss, and I said, I have 2 weeks of vacation. Prince died. I'm leaving. I'll probably be back Monday. I don't know when I'm coming back, though. And he goes, for Prince? And I went, yes. And I got on a plane and I left.
Wow.
The next day. Or no, actually it was that night, because when I flew in, the whole city was purple. Like, all the lights and all the extra things from the city of Minneapolis were purple. And it was in that moment I realized, and they threw a fit. They approved it. I was already gone. What are they going to do about it? But they threw a fit and treated me different. And multiple things happened at that company afterwards that made me realize, like, I never wanted to live a life in which somebody told me that I couldn't just jump on a plane if somebody important to me died, or an experience was happening, or I needed to do. I didn't want anyone to ever make me feel bad for living.
Yeah. That's true. Especially because most of the time when somebody does that, it's because they wouldn't do it for their own experience. So it's like they're just mad that you can follow through on what you said you want.
They don't understand that that's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm sorry that you don't have the gumption in your heart and soul to do something like that, but I do, boo. I'm out. Like, I'm not going to miss. And that's what it was. I came back and they're like, do you, I can't even remember what they said, but something very snarky of like, are you okay with your decision? And I was like, no, because I wish I was still there. Like, I didn't sleep and I listened to Prince and First Ave. And like, I did all of these things. And that's an experience, again, I'll never get to have again. And I was in the moment and I didn't answer my emails. And there's just not enough people having that experience. They're not living their life, and which leads to a lot of unhappy people who feel unworthy, who feel a lack of trust in everyone around them, and especially a lack of trust in themselves.
And that's another part with making sure not everybody, but like making sure as many people as possible follow their dreams. Like, one dream could unlock another dream, right? So like, even any of these industries that we have, there was somebody first who had an idea that even started the industry. If they didn't have that dream, the next person wouldn't be like, but what about? But it's like, if you don't have your dream or follow your dream, someone else will hire you to do theirs. If you don't have your own vision, somebody else will hire you to be a part of theirs.
Yeah.
So it's like having your own vision, having your own dream. Like, it doesn't mean that you can't help somebody else with their dream or vision.
Amen.
But if you ignore what you have, you're doing a disservice to somebody else who needed that to spark an idea.
Yeah. I love the the meme or the home goods sign of like, God's calling on your heart was not a conference call.
Yeah.
And I think it does take a high level of trust and authenticity to actually respond when he's like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do this? And you're like, fine, I guess I'll figure it out. But it's only the people who live in a space of trust and authenticity in themselves who are like, I think I'm going to do this absolutely ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
That there's going to be people who are mad at me, people who don't understand. There's going to be people who cause an uproar, and I'm just going to have to do it anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I can only imagine when Noah was like, I got to build a boat. People were like, okay. Okay, weirdo.
What's that?
Like, why?
Rain?
Right.
What?
Uncontrollable rain that's going to take us all out. They're like, crazy Noah over here.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, but yeah, it's so true. There's so many things. And I think about that often in the work that I do, because if I wasn't here, there's certain things that wouldn't exist in this world on a national level if I hadn't convinced the person in front of me that they were as worthy and wonderful to exist and make this a reality.
Yeah.
And it blows me away. Like, it's the best part of the job. I will never stop doing what I'm doing. But that's because God was like, you have to do it. No one else will.
Yeah.
Which is scary when it's like, no one else will do this. I need you to do this.
And that's the thing. I always want to be his first choice.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be his seventh or eighth choice, you know?
Yeah. Like, I
that
want to
means
be
it's
first.
like seven or eight people just said, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. That's all right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to be the first. You want to be the one who did it. Even if people call you crazy and don't understand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let them call you crazy. Like, it's funny. In retrospect, always the people who come after are always the ones who go, they were a genius for their time.
I knew them
but
when.
we never, exactly, but you never, like, see people appreciate it in their time. Like, a lot of these people were like, oh, wow, like, this person was so amazing. Like, the people during their time didn't like them.
No.
Yeah.
They were some of the most hated people.
Yeah.
Because no one understood them.
I mean, even on the flat earther idea, right? Like, Galilei,
Yeah,
like, he was like, no, it's a circle. And they're like, I don't know about that one,
weirdo.
bro.
I interviewed one of my good friends. His name is Kyle Draper.
Yeah.
And he is a speaker, and he is magnetic and wonderful. He's on my list of people you need to talk to.
Yes.
And he said, he goes, the concept that if somebody thinks differently than you, that they're wrong is wild to me. And he's like, he goes, I may know something to be true.
Yeah.
And if you come to me and tell me, like, hey, gravity's not real. He goes, I'm going to be like, I think gravity is real, but why don't you tell me why you think it's not?
Yeah.
He goes, it may or may not change my mind, but it doesn't devalue the person for their own beliefs.
Exactly. And they might show you something you'd never seen before.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing about bubbles. Like, bubbles hurt your perspective because it's like the bit more outside of your bubble you get, the more you talk to people from different perspectives and walks of life, you start to realize, like, oh wow, like, there's so many ways to look at the same thing. And so now when you talk to people, like, there's one person I interviewed, and she talked about how some people are hatched from the same egg, and that's like their perspective is the same, right?
Yeah.
And so when they say things, like, you could say something to somebody, I could say it to the same person, and because me and them are not hatched from the same egg, like, they'll be like, oh, okay. Then you say it to them, and they go, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Genius.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, when you talk to people from different perspectives, it opens up your perspective more. And you don't have to just talk from your perspective. You can now learn to communicate on a wider frame.
There's no original ideas.
Yeah.
I heard that from the stage. I don't even remember who I heard it say it first, but I was like, there really isn't.
They all come from somewhere.
And it's just how we process it. Teenager theory, man. That's what I called it back when I worked in education. You can tell a teenager to do something, they're not going to listen to you. And then they're like, oh, my friend's mom said blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I've been saying that for years, but fine, whatever. Yay to that person. Yeah. So what is the next step? When is the book going to be done? What are you looking at?
So the book will be done in August.
Okay.
And then from there, I'm just waiting on a few details of editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to have it out by either September or October.
Okay.
And then you gave me this genius idea to
Yeah.
kind of start a podcast alongside the book.
Yes.
So like prepping for the book, then the book releases, and then keep on going with it. And I really like the idea of practicing connection while advocating for it.
Yes.
So that's kind of the game plan.
I love it. I love it. Connection is so very important, especially in today's day and age, because everyone thinks they're connected and no one really is anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of you for this project. It's going to be, I think, unbelievable in the impact that it's going to have. So I will link all of Shalom's information. When the book comes out, we will also reboost everything so that people can purchase the book and then also have the opportunity to learn the lessons. I'm really excited since I do know some of the people that are in the book, for the lessons that are going to be in here. I know that it's going to make a huge impact, not just on the children. I know that it was your age demographic was 14, but also, a bunch of adults are walking around like 14-year-olds. And I think it's just going to make a massive, massive movement.
We're all just grown-up children.
We're toddlers with credit cards.
Exactly.
Like literally. If my routine is not good, I am not good either. So I will link all of his information. I'm sure we'll have you back on the show once the book launches. And I am just so thankful for this connection. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I will link all of his information. Please like, share, and download. If you are interested in being a part of this project and there are still spots available, you can contact him directly to be a part of it. So thanks, everybody. We will see you next week.